Hey, Quinn with Police Motor Training. Whew. So it's starting to rain. Here's the thing. If you're the competition and it starts to rain, one of the things you're going to notice is everybody suddenly acts like they're on an ice skating rink and they go really careful. So my question to you is, what's the traction change? What's changing? So two things are changing. Yes, I'm going to have less traction. We're going to discuss that in a second. But the second thing is, you're going to find if there are areas on the course that have old grease or slurry seal or little puddle, sort of little pockets, they're going to start to reveal themselves. And those areas are to be avoided at all costs. So what's important about that, if you are going to a rodeo, and really on the street too, but if you're going to a rodeo where you see when it's dry, you can identify these little dark areas, understand that when it starts to rain, they're probably going to get activated. So my point is, you want to pick a line when everything's great that still avoids those spots. Because yes, you might be fine now, but now when it starts to rain, what you don't want to have to do is completely change your program, right? So I will, when I walk the course, when I ride the course, maybe pick a wider line to avoid a slurry seal. Obviously, if it's wet or if it's really hot, it's a nightmare. It's to be avoided pretty much all the time, anytime. But old grease spots, little puddle areas that are going to pool, you want to avoid those when it's dry, because now it's going to start to rain. Boom, you're in it, right? And now you've got a bad line memorized in here that's going to keep putting you in this bad spot. So we don't want that. So the other part of this is, depending on the surface you're on, the rain may not make a huge difference at all. I've been to rodeos where the rain really almost, I couldn't even tell, right? It just was still grippy. But how will I know? How will I get the confidence to run through this course somewhere around the pace I'm running when it's dry? Well, you do what I call recalibrating. So what I do is, okay, now it's starting to rain and it's wet. So I'm going to come over here away from the course, and I'm going to start hammering threshold braking, hard accelerating. And when I do that, at some point I'm going to lose traction. Obviously, right? You do that wet or dry, you lose traction at some point. But what you'll probably find is, wait, I actually have a lot of grip, more than I realized, more than I feared that I would. But now, if you do that, when you go back on the course, you're going to feel pretty damn comfortable, because you know now, what am I dealing with, okay? Now, I do that when it's wet or it's dry, but it's particularly valuable when it is wet, because the group, whoever you're up against, so there's 100 guys, 90 of them aren't going to do that. 95 of them aren't probably going to do that. And they're not really going to know what they're dealing with. So they're going to slow down based on what they're afraid is going to happen and what they don't know might happen. So they're running around this course with unknowns, and you aren't. You're running around with a known. You know how much traction you have. Maybe it's less. That's fine, but you know what it is. So that when you drop into the pattern and you start riding again, you're like, all right, and it'll give you a lot more comfort and confidence and calm you down a bit for your runs. So just think on that. Have a great day.